Welcome to 24 Holiday Tips for Savvy Homeowners, brought to you by HomeTipsforWomen.com. Join us each day as Tina and her guests bring you a holiday tip to fill your home with more joy and less stress. And now, here's your host, Tina Gleisner.
Hi, everyone, and thank you so much for joining us today where we're sharing holiday tips for savvy homeowners. Because, this is a wonderful time of year, but it also can get rather stressful when we are spending more time doing all sorts of activities for friends and family and decorating the house. And so I've learned that if you take a little time to plan out your holidays, it can make a really big difference, especially if you remember the 4 Ds, starting with it's okay to delegate some activities to others in your circle. It's more fun to do things together, like if you're going to bake cookies, do it with a friend. It's perfectly okay. I give you permission to drop a few of those to-dos off your list this year to make a little time so that you can ensure that you've got some activities during the month of December to delight yourself. Because the holidays are really about living life to the fullest, and if you're so busy running around, that's not going to happen. So we need to make sure you've got time for yourself. And our guest in this call is Helen Hodgson, and her business is Serve the Goddess. And she is all about replacing holiday stress with relaxation and gratitude. So welcome, Helen. I'm so glad you could join us today, and really appreciate you giving up time from your busy schedule.
Oh, you're so welcome. I'm always happy to talk about how to de-stress during the holiday periods. It often just, everything spins out of control, and we forget the real reason behind the holidays.
Right. So with that, what Helen, is your favorite holiday activity?
Well, I'm so glad you asked, because my favorite holiday activity is relaxing and unwinding and enjoying a spa day with my girlfriends.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can be, we can all be refreshed and relaxed, ready for the holidays, so that we're not burnt out before the holidays even get here. And for me, it's all about unplugging from work. So whatever you can do to make that happen, which is getting together in somebody's home and enjoy a spa day. My company, Serve the Goddess, offers in-home massage and spa services for women. So you don't even have to leave home. How great is that?
That sounds wonderful.
So it's really about preparing for the holidays so that you can be relaxed and not frazzled and burnt out.
Well, can you now share with us what are some of your tips that people really can embrace to really get rid of that holiday stress?
Absolutely. The first tip I'd like to share with everybody is start your day with a 3-minute morning gratitude session. It's so easy to get into the habit of picking up your cell phone and checking email as soon as you wake up, but I'm inviting everybody, all your listeners, to try something new and start the day with a morning gratitude session.
And how would they do that?
Well, you could sit in a quiet area at home, maybe get up a couple of minutes earlier before everybody else, find a quiet area at home before your coffee, and just sit in silence and just do an internal meditation and make a list in your mind of all the things that you're grateful for. You could also try this little gratitude meditation that I actually put in my newsletter this morning. you could start out with the first inhale, which is, I welcome happiness. And on your exhale, I am grateful. And then on your next inhale, I welcome inspiration. And exhale, I am so grateful. On the third inhale, I welcome love. And on the exhale, I am so grateful. It can make a huge difference to your day, and it doesn't take but 3 minutes.
And if you could share your newsletter with me, then I can include that with the recording so that people can come back to that. That would be terrific.
I will, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
okay, do you have a few more tips for us?
I do, yes. That was my first one. And I just lost my notes all of a sudden. Where did they go?
The next one's the handwritten note?
Nope, no, it's the email. Okay, so my first one was the morning gratitude. The second one is to send a handwritten note to a friend or colleague and tell them how much you appreciate them. When you appreciate other people, it gives you so much joy because, you get it back tenfold. And because the holidays are about gratitude and Thanksgiving, I really encourage everybody to get in touch with a sense of gratitude. It really changes your whole mindset. And that's something you could just send one handwritten note to a friend or colleague. It's so easy to do an email, but everybody appreciates a handwritten note.
Mm-hmm. They are special, especially in today's day.
They really are, yes. Yeah, with my company, I always send handwritten notes to new clients. I know everybody appreciates them. It used to be the old saying was when computers came out, we'd all be upset because we didn't get an email and all we got was mail, but now it's reversed. We get all the emails, but we don't get the handwritten notes in the mail.
And I don't even know, the younger kids, they don't even use email anymore. It's all texting.
Yeah, or it's a text. Yeah, you get news but via text. Yeah. I had some unfortunate sad news via text, and I thought, why are you sending this through text? That should be a phone call, not a text. But, yep, that's the younger generation. And then the third tip, I'd like to encourage everybody to unplug an hour before bedtime and write down 5 things you're grateful for that happened during your day. And it's a great habit to get into. So easy to climb into bed with all the day's worries and not focusing on the things that you're grateful for, things that have happened during your day. So I keep a gratitude journal by my bedside, and before I go to sleep, I write down 5 things I'm grateful for.
Ah, and you know what I've noticed is that almost you could do, you've given us something to do in the morning, and then in the evening, and the handwritten notes you almost could do at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And what it really is kind of just a check and balance that if during the day you're going off course, what you're really here is saying, hey, you're going to enjoy your days more if you're looking at the positive things in your life. And it's almost like you've got these little checkpoints in the daily schedule to look at what's going well in your life, what you should be grateful for. I really think that's neat.
Yeah, it really is. And it helps you relax, too, because you're slowing down, you're thinking, you start the morning less hurried by slowing down and grounding with it.
Right. I'm not very good at that. I mean, I wake up and I work on, what are the 3 most important things I have to get done today? I'll be honest.
Well, yeah, I think most people do, which is good. You're focusing on 3 things and not 300 things.
Right.
So, so you could start your morning with, but before I do that, I want to start their morning gratitude session because you could spin your wheels and end up going down the wrong path. I really find when I do my morning meditation, it helps me be more focused.
Oh, that's interesting. How so?
Well, I think because I'm not thinking of all the things I need to do. It grounds me. I almost get a download in the morning of things I need to do when I'm meditating, but it's not frantic. It's it's calm, it's centered, and then I get to spend time with my husband before he goes off for work, and then I start my work.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm kind of fascinated. I'm going to have to try this.
And then, of course, the big... Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. If you had something to add, please do, because I was just going to go on to our final question to wrap things up.
No, let's go on to the final.
So when you think about the holidays, because here we are headed into the holidays, and what is the most important thing that you like to make sure happens for you over the holidays?
I get a massage.
Ah.
It is because that's the whole subject of today is replacing stress with relaxation and gratitude.
Right.
It's really about honoring yourself, making yourself a priority, and rewarding yourself. It's so easy as women to run from the next task to the next task and not stop and appreciate what we've achieved, especially during depending on how often you get massage, but we're heading towards the end of the year. It's the time of year when we look back and look at all the things we've achieved, and I consider a massage a necessity in life, but it's also a reward because you're giving the time to yourself, you're honoring yourself.
Right.
On many levels, psychologically, physically, mentally, you're unplugging. You are, letting yourself know that you're worthy of the time, an hour out of your day, and it puts you in another sense of gratitude.
Mhm. And I really liked your words. It's about making yourself a priority, which is, we tend to, as women, make everybody else a higher priority in our lives. And you're right. I mean, it's almost, I have another woman that I work with, it's what are the non-negotiables? We should be putting ourselves on our calendar first before everybody else.
Yeah.
And we forget to do that. And that's why, we shortchange ourselves because we don't think we're important enough to put time on the calendar for us.
Yeah.
So I really love that you said that. Well, thank you so much, and I would love for you, Helen, to share with everybody how would they find your website online so that, if they want to learn more about what we've been discussing, they can, visit your website?
Yes. So the website is servethegoddess.com.
Okay.
And you'll find me there. My name is Helen. I'm in Southern California. But I also do women's retreats. So, even if you're on the other coast, I do offer women weekend retreats.
Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody who's been listening, who joined us today. This is Tina Gleisner, founder of Home Tips for Women, and I hope you're enjoying our series of 24 holiday tips for savvy homeowners. Hope you'll be back tomorrow. We are doing those up through December 24th, and I invite you to check in through Blog Talk Radio, or we will also be publishing all of the recordings on our website at HomeTipsforWomen.com. Thank you so much, Helen, and everybody else for joining us, and have a wonderful, wonderful holiday.
Thank you for joining us today, and we invite you back tomorrow for another Savvy Holiday Tip. Be sure to grab your free gift at SavvyHolidayTips.com. That's SavvyHolidayTips.com.